Remember these? Rubik's Cube. Still have one? Yeah. I'm not sure if the most amazing thing is that I thought of a Rubik's Cube, or that I remembered that I had one, or that I could find it. I was pretty impressed with myself. Rubik's Cube was invented in 1974 by Erno Rubik. Didn't do anything with it until 1980, when it kind of was a sensation. Anybody remember how to solve it really fast?
No.
Yeah. I used to be pretty good at it, but that was a while ago, yeah.
Change the stickers.
Post-its. Yeah, there you go. That's a way to solve a Rubik's Cube. Anybody know how many combinations there are on a Rubik's Cube?
A lot.
A lot, yeah, that's, okay. You can narrow it down a little? 45 quintillion. Quintillion. I had to, like, go back the number of commas to figure out that that was 45 quintillion. Now, granted, some of those are mirrors where it would be the same upside or downside. So maybe it's only half that many. Or it's six-sided, maybe it's only six that many. Still a lot. The talk today is called Want to Make Something of It. And the reason for the Rubik's Cube is just as a reminder of all the possible combinations that there are. A Rubik's Cube has 45 quintillion possible combinations. Each one of those combinations is special. It's individual, it's distinct. It might be unique. You could say it's unique, except it's the same as one that's upside down, but then again, it's upside down, so it was unique. So who cares? Well, this is a spiritual talk, so obviously you're going to care, and it's my job to lure you into it. The reminder of the Rubik's Cube is that just like the cube, each of us has a special combination of gifts, a special pattern, something unique that we bring into the world. We are not exactly the same as the other 7 billion people on the planet. We each have something special to offer, so something special to give. And that's what makes our lives so valuable, exciting, confounding, rewarding, enriching, or whatever adjective you want to put onto that. It's the combinations that we're bringing together, the combinations as I take my unique combination and I bring it together with other people and their unique combinations. I had a bunch of conversations this week, people who were calling and asking for support and prayer. And it was about wanting to get something new in their life. The one that's coming to mind was about jobs, work. Well, I'm looking for a job. How do I find a job? And there's job boards out there with 45 quintillion jobs posted on them. And how the heck do you find the one that you actually want to put your attention into applying for? And that can be daunting. It can be daunting to look at just the vastness of the universe and say, how am I going to stand out? How am I going to weave my way through this and figure out what's the next thing for me to do? And that's the other reminder from the Rubik's Cube, is that what we have ourselves is a unique combination of the gifts, the skills, the talents, the abilities, the willingness to bring ourselves and offer ourselves to a situation. And because of that, if it's something reasonable, or in some cases, even if it's not something reasonable, there is someone or a whole bunch of someones or an organization or a whole bunch of organizations that are looking for exactly that combination. I need you as my Rubik's Cube formed just like this. And we've been looking all over the place for somebody who can do this job, who has these skills, who has these abilities, who's willing to spend their waking hours putting their energy and attention and effort and commitment, maybe even passion, into helping us accomplish the goal that we've set out to accomplish. So in that sense, it's not about getting a job. It's not about finding a job. It's not about trying to position yourself and market yourself so that you can get a job. It's about realizing what your unique combination is and setting the intention that whoever it is looking for that combination is also looking for you. And then it's not nearly so much of a God help me find my job as God has guided me to my perfect job. That's the law of attraction in action. When we are clear about who we are and what it is that we're looking for, the law of attraction kicks in and allows that which we are expressing, that which we are seeking, to be connected in our lives. And the bad news is it only works for employment. No, that's not true. Actually, it always works. And it works in whatever area of our lives that we're having a challenge or an issue. Has anybody ever had the experience of wanting something and having it show up just immediately, automatically, and it was so effortless and simple? Anybody? Show of hands. That's ever happened? Yeah. And has anybody ever had the experience of wanting something and having it be elusive and feel really hard and distant, like you had to chase after it? Show of hands. Yeah. What changed between those? Well, in both cases, you had something that you wanted, and in both cases, you were seeking after something. And in one circumstance, it was easy, and in the other circumstance, it was not easy. So we could say that the difference was that one was easy. One was fun, and the other one was not. Now, there might be more to it. It's possible that there's something that we were seeking that didn't actually show up in our lives the way that we wanted it to. I've had that happen too. Some things that I thought were going to be right for me and didn't work. And that's where the loss and the surrender and the grieving goes. Because when there's something that I want to have in my life and I don't have it, and it turns out that I'm not going to have it, there's a real sadness that comes in from that. And that's not the end of things. There's some new combination that's on its way, because I'm looking for a Rubik's Cube that's just configured this way, and there's not one out there. So maybe what I need to do is go and be aware of something different that I'm looking for. To let go of the fact that I'm on the quest for this particular combination and open myself up a little bit more broadly to what it is that I am inviting. There's the notion in practical prayer of what Ernest Holmes calls outlining. So when we set an intention in our prayer, we can be very clear about what it is that we want to get into our lives. And the what part is very important. When we start to think about how it's going to happen, or the specifics, for example, I want to have a wonderful, loving relationship. The universe says yes, and that the pieces are fitting together and you're dialing your Rubik's Cube down. If, on the other hand, it's I want to have a delightful, loving relationship with her, starting on Saturday. First of all, we're deciding what it has to look like. I am now no longer interested in what it is that I'm going to be experiencing. I'm now telling the universe, and in fact whoever the other person is, what I want them to do. And that's none of my business. So in cases where we set an intention that what I'm looking for is something that actually I'm outlining, where I'm trying to tell the universe how that has to work, those are generally the ones where we're going through loss and having to let go of that idea. Because that doesn't generally work for us. Let me change that. That works for us by coincidence just often enough to make us think that it's going to work again. There have been times that I wanted something and I wound up getting it to make me think, oh, right here in my ego self, I can do that. I can make things happen. I can push the pieces around. I can maneuver the stuff and make that come into my life. And in looking back, either that was a wonderful lesson, or it was a joyous experience, or it was a great distraction. It was one of the patterns that wasn't actually going to serve me later. Because the stuff isn't necessarily obvious. That it's not about what we want. As we were talking about in the workshop yesterday. The scripture says, it is done unto you as you believe. It is not done unto you as you want. It is not done unto you as you say. It is not done unto you even as you say you believe. Because if I say I believe something but I don't actually believe it, the universe is not going to be saying yes to what I said I believe. The universe is going to be saying yes to what I actually believe. And Rubik's Cube has 45 quintillion possible combinations. The universe is certainly not limited to just that number. This is a pretty small cube. The universe is pretty big. So there's all kinds of possibilities, all sorts of ways that stuff can fit together. And just like with the Rubik's Cube, if you want to see what your belief system is, you see what the pattern looks like in your life. See what there's a topographical map, life-size topographical map.
This is your God call.
Now the God call comes in. I wonder if somebody needs to answer that. Probably not.
Sounds like it's coming through the speaker.
No, it's actually coming through the University of Pennsylvania
Oh,
phone system
okay.
over here. So, okay. I'm not distracted. It's always a choice. We can always dial around what it is that we're intending, what it is that we're thinking, what it is that we're inviting into our lives. We can always readjust and recalibrate and change our minds. It's possible to pray for something and then either get it or not get it, and then pray for something else. Pray for something more. Pray for something additional. It's a great quote from Thomas Carlyle, which I actually put on my phone so that I can share it with you. Every day that's born into the world comes like a burst of music and rings the whole day through, and you make of it a dance, a dirge, or a life march as you will. We're always a choice. The situations, the patterns, the stuff that shows up in our lives is going to be what it's going to be. And we can have delight in it, we can have joy in it, we can learn lessons from it, we can run away from it, we can do whatever kind of a dance we want to do with it. We can lament and say, oh my gosh, this is horrible, this is the worst thing that's ever happened, and continue telling the story of how bad it is over and over and over again. Anybody ever done that?
No.
No. Today? We can look at a situation and say, it's bad, and then stay in the situation and continue to be in that space where it's bad. Or we can look at the same situation and say, this is bad, I don't like this. And what's next? What am I inviting in next for my life? And there's a process that we get to go through as that happens, as we're coming up with whatever our new next combination is going to be. Annie shared the list from 5 years ago. And this was not what you were visualizing, probably.
Well, I thought maybe it would be like a dude.
And I know other people who have done the same thing, with a 3-page list of characters and qualities that they're looking for in their life partner. And it turns out that the partner was looking for the same thing, and there they are together. Because that's the way the law of attraction works. And it's not like it's limited. It's not like, oh, well, it happened for them, so it can't happen for me. It happens all the time. It's about allowing ourselves to be turned into that combination where our gifts are showing, where the pieces are aligned, so that we can be recognized as the special light that we are. And then it's automatic. The law of attraction kicks in, and bada bing, it's working for us. So as you're going through the highs and lows of your day, of your week, of whatever's going on in your life, it's an especially sad time for some of our folks. And it's one of those things that's more shocking than surprising, and that doesn't matter. Where you are right now in the process is where you are, and that's okay. And the invitation is, instead of staying there forever, to know that it gets better, to know that it changes, to know that you're always able to make a choice for an invitation for something different to come in. And the changes happen, and life continues to unfold, and the cube pieces continue to fit together in whatever way that they're going to do. And throughout all of it, there's love. The love that's showing up in the world around you, the love that's the light that you're shining. You are a bright light. Bless you.